Today is something special. It's the SL Digital Media Podcast, sponsored by BCT Channel. Miki McPherson is about to take you on her journey. She has done so much great things, so many great things in her lifetime, and she's willing to share it with everyone right now. Now, I know she's a little busy, so I know she ain't going to be on long, but she's going to make it happen today.
Yep.
So, Mickey McPherson, tell us your journey. Why did it lead you to that path of where you're at
Mhm.
from the beginning to the end? Because you know you had to make a decision.
Yeah.
So tell us how it all panned out for you.
Let me take you back. I'm gonna say like, okay, I grew up in South Philadelphia in Wilson Park Projects, and however, I was born in D.C., then came to Philly and started kindergarten. So just like a lot of us, growing up, rough times, poor, struggling, just finding our way. Uh, you have a lot of you run into a lot of experiences, right? Not things that you should not have experienced at such a young age, and we've all through those times and growing and trying to just survive in the trenches and not having much supervision. We most of us all had single moms, and they worked quite a bit. Never saw my mom. My mother's not from this country. She's Japanese, and so didn't have much support at all. Raised by my older brothers and sisters who were all still trying to figure themselves out as well. So pretty much I had no supervision, and and I saw a lot of things, and done a lot of things. Got involved to a lot of things that my mother, if she knew today, she would probably be like, "What the fuck?" But you know, trauma is a part of growing up, and you know, man, my mom had boyfriends and not too many. She met guys, and through those times, it's just unfortunately they were very dysfunctional relationships, and
Of course.
as a result, her children were affected by circumstances, and so when you grow up in an environment that's all you don't know it's dysfunctional. You don't know it's abusive. You don't know anything. You just think it's normal, right? And then you grow up, you get older, and then as a teenager, then I started to just step outside of that, and I was running the streets, and but one thing I noticed, the good thing that really saved me was I've always, for some reason, I was always able to keep good people around me, like good people, and so I've always fell into a group of friends that we were good. We're all really pure. We were
Yeah,
product of our circumstances, right? Products of our environments, but
of
we were
course.
good kids, right? And so and I think really that's what saved me. And what I noticed as I started growing up is that people would naturally come to me and just start talking to me, and then I don't know what it was about me. I think it should be because of what I was exposed to as a child, and not even aware of how crazy and dysfunctional and traumatizing it was. I was able to. I was relatable, I guess. I don't know what it was, but people felt, and my friends felt like they could come to me. That I understood them. I made them feel okay about whatever it was they were going through. And one thing I was like really good at just keeping people's confidentiality. Well, keeping their business between the two of us, right? And so how I don't know, but the grace of the power, the great gods and spirits. I made it through high school, and I said, my mother was like, once you turn 18, once you finish high school, like you had to go. She really just couldn't afford us. So that's kind of
Pretty
like,
much.
yeah, I'm the last of five. And that's why I saw my older siblings do. Like once they hit 18, high school, or My one brother, he dropped out at 10th grade, got his GED eventually when he was eligible, and then he was gone. So I just started seeing like, okay, my brothers and sisters, they go. Then they get to a certain age, they go. And it's like, okay, I guess that's what I have to do, because she just can't afford us, you know? And so I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just go in the military, maybe I'll just go to college. But then I said, you know what? I feel I just had this natural, I always wanted to help people. I was always a kind person. And I mean, I would, as a little girl, I remember, there used to be at Point Breeze Avenue, a store called Blair's, right? And
Yeah.
I would go in there, and it was just security guard, right? And I was a little girl, and I used to save my little allowances, and I would go there and buy like, Christmas shopping or whatever. And I don't know, I always helped older people. I always was just such a helping kid. It was just who I was. And then when my mother would come to the store, they would say, "Oh, your daughter's so sweet. She's always helping with, wherever, people needing or whatever, cleaning up, picking up stuff off the ground, throwing it in the trash, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that." Like, I don't know, that was just in me. And so I met this boy. What happened? And he played football, and he said, "I'm going to go to college. I'm going to go to Virginia State University." I'm like, really? Never been to Virginia.
It's
But
nice. It's nice in Virginia.
yeah, I mean, I live right near. I mean, my birthplace is DC, so I was pretty much there. But yeah, I followed him to college, and it's when I didn't even know. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do this, and I was, just talking to my advisor and discussing like, well, why are you here? What is it that what your focus is? And and I told her a little bit about myself, and she said, you may want to, after you finish your core classes, and you have to choose a major, you may want to choose psychology. And I'm like, really, and so
So that
that's
was the
pretty much how
beginning.
I ended up in
Yeah,
psychology.
that was the beginning stages. It was
Yeah.
sometime it comes through a message,
Yes.
a messenger.
Yep.
So and we really don't know what we're gonna be doing
Don't.
the next 5 years because you can get another little lightning bolt to come through to you and it might take you somewhere else and it depends on where your heart is at and do you want that extra that extra thing put on you and do you want to just switch and change and do things and that's usually how all of this stuff really happens. Like me, I basically knew how to talk because I was already doing basketball games
Yeah. Yeah.
in Philly. So I've been doing that for years. So all the schools, all the colleges, a lot of people didn't know but they were hiring me to do a lot of big tournaments and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a person of vocals and I know about sports very well. And but I know about music also because that's my venture. But you just never know. Look, I ended up doing all of this stuff, and now something came my way that I never even thought would even come my way. But
Mm-hmm.
I always said that if the right people spot me, they're going to know. So it only took me 3 weeks. And they've really been on me for like a week and a half since I put this up. They know I know about graphics
Right.
because there's not too many people that's doing what I'm doing right there.
Right.
So now they're like, wait a minute, this guy right here, he ain't just doing it like everybody else. He ain't just on the phone and just everybody just do it the way you doing it, even on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't even know the capabilities of what I'm capable of doing. I know how to do the the animation and all that. I know how to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they have no idea how I can take it, but they see it because now I'm talking about the power is coming to me now, and now they're putting me in position
Mm-hmm.
to really do it on a whole nother level. And it took me 2.5, 3 weeks. And remember, I was already telling you, I said I was coming. And I
Yeah.
said, once I start, watch how fast it goes. Because people knew who I was, from a musical standpoint,
Yeah.
but they have no idea of the people I really know. But they're going to find out
Right.
once everything is signed, sealed, and delivered.
And
So October, it's going down. So I'm just letting you
Okay,
know.
okay, but you're right.
And it's gonna be
You
crazy.
don't know, and then
You never know.
sometimes you don't even know you're hitting talents until it could come somewhere through a messenger, through an opportunities, just you being at the right place at the right time, standing next to a person you never thought you were going to stand next to, and there's a conversation strikes up, and there's opportunities right there. And because I did veer off of psychology, and I did veer off of that, and because I was always, again, I like to be in the, being in the limelight, going to the clubs and hanging
Yeah.
around certain types of flashy
You was
people.
hanging.
Uh-huh.
You was hanging.
Yeah, I was
You hanging
hanging.
out.
And so I said, you know what? I think this is not for me. I actually changed my major when I was at Temple. And because I actually, I started off in Virginia State, and then I came back. I came back to Philly and transferred to Temple because
Mm-hmm.
I knew that that's where I needed to be. Um, and I said, you know what? I think I'm going to be a journalist. I like sports. I like to be in the sports arena. I like to be in, like media and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be a broadcaster. Right? I said, I'm
Well,
gonna be
one thing about the media will definitely keep you busy because
but,
something's going on every 10 minutes. So
but it wasn't like this back then in the late 80s, early 90s. But so I switched my major, and I said, okay, I know this is going to set me back. I'm going to be in school longer because now I'm going to make up these classes. But even though I saw this, I envisioned what a lifestyle would be,
of
right?
course,
And as in broadcasting and that media, right? And it seems so exciting, right?
yeah,
So, and I'm thinking that's who I am. I like to be out. And so, but it, I don't know. I just kept being drawn back to this helping spirit in me, just kept coming up. And what I learned later, I said, I started to do counseling and stuff like that, and for my own personal stuff that I was going through, and a lot of my trauma, my childhood trauma, that I
yeah,
didn't know was affected me in a way that was affecting me in my lifestyle. And and it's just like one day it was just like, no, this is what I need to be doing. This is me. It's my own therapy as well, helping other people get through their trauma. So when my dad just said, all right, I'm going to switch back, and I switched back, and I never looked back after that. That's it. This is where I need to be, but I need to have that experience and be in this whole. I'm not a competitor in that way. I'm
yeah.
not a hustler in that. I mean, I hustle. I don't. I work. I grind, but not in that way that
The
I
street would
need to be
interpret.
in media.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and so I said, no, this is not who I am, even though I thought I was.
yeah,
And it doesn't bring me fulfillment. It's not me, because we never know what's behind the scene. We see this glorious, glorified type of lifestyle, and but we really don't know what comes with that behind the scene, and so yeah, and that's how I ended up back doing what I was doing. I never looked back, and I love what I do, and it helps. It's healing for me as well as for the people I work with. So I feel like that's my niche. This is where I need to be, you know.
yeah.
And so that was my
Okay.
journey.
So, like I said, you never know where the journey may lead you.
Don't.
Because actually, some people always say, well, I didn't figured it out. But I've seen people go to college and basically didn't get the job that they went to college for.
Exactly.
And then, which I never understand, why would you pick something and then all of a sudden just switch it up? I mean, like you got to at least give 10 years or something to it. Um, but I just never understood it. But I've always been a grinder, a hustler because I DJ'd. I was hosting parties. I mean, people don't even know. Like I said, I just met you
Mhm.
a couple years ago, but
Right.
you never knew the walk that I was walking until I started kind of saying a little something,
Hmm.
to you about it. And I've always been an entertainer. I've always been on the road. I know a lot about the business. Period. The music entertainment business. And I'm currently involved with not just see that's just the media aspect.
Mm.
there's something other big coming on. It's already going to launch in 2021. But what I'm about to do with the radio thing is because I'm a vocalist, I'm going to start doing like the jingles and all that kind of stuff. And I know none of them is doing that. So, you know,
Wow.
it's definitely going to be on and popping on that end. Trust me, it's going to be a whole nother level. They're going to be like, oh yeah, he's crazy. He's crazy. He's just crazy, you know.
You have
So
the voice for it, definitely.
yeah, like I said, you know, it's just all about will, desire, resilience. Um, always and always remember that on your journey that there are people that you have to help in order to go, you know, keep going,
Yes.
because that's when God kind of bless you anyway, even though a lot of people don't look into that like that. You know, that's how he really blesses you. Yeah, it's the deeds you're actually doing
Hmm.
to enhance somebody is the actual real deed to society, to this world. And he's going to look at what did you do for somebody?
Right.
How did you hang in there? How did you stay in their life even though there's trials and tribulations? And look, what people didn't understand, there are people in worse condition. There are people with no arms, hands, can't
Yep.
eat, see, blind. I mean, we can go on and on. There's people with no
Absolutely.
parents, and you know, you kind of grew up the way I did. You know,
Hmm.
one parent, my mom. I never met my father, so you
Same.
know,
Yep.
yeah. So it's like, you know, you growing up, and you know, but in that journey, we actually found light to shine on somebody, even though we're handicapped ourselves.
Exactly.
So um, that's very important though, that you reach back to people, and you never know. And like I said, I've done the basketball camps. I've seen them with ashy ankles and no grease on their lips coming up to me, and they're in the NBA right now. So, you know, I've
Yeah.
seen them, and it's trials and tribulations with, you know, when it comes down to family, man, I tell you, that's something special, you know,
Hmm.
because it's always going to be a couple that's just a little loose cannons in their
Right.
head.
Right. Right. But in the end, family's everything.
Yeah, family is everything. Well,
And
no, put it this
and
way. You don't want to be involved with, see, now, I'm glad you said that. Just because they're family doesn't mean you have to subside to some of the things that they might be trying to push you
right,
to,
you don't. Right. Right. But I want
you
to.
know,
I'll add this because I
love them from
always
a
say this. I
distance.
want to add to the family's everything. I've always said this, and I say that, and I find I say that at least, I don't know, just regularly, especially to a lot of young people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us come from a like dysfunctional. We all come from dysfunctional
Yeah,
families.
we all jacked up.
Yeah, we all messed up. But
Yeah.
I say, listen, family. We can't help the situation, the circumstances we're born into. It's out of our control. Um, the parents were born to or whatever. But you know what? It's important to make sure that the people you choose to be in your life, your friends, choose them wisely because they will may become your family, and that's also family. Like when I think about my crew, we call each other, we call this ourselves the crew. There's seven of us who've been this friendships over 30 and 40 years, right? Some
Yeah,
of us,
of course.
and for women to be friends like that. We don't even call ourselves friends. We're sisters. There's so much that we've all gone through together that our
Hmm.
families have no idea what we've gone through, but we've been there for each other. They're the ones who we pull each other up. We, we are family. We are beyond friends. And, and honestly, I wouldn't have gotten as far as I did in my life had it not been for my friends, my crew.
Yeah, of course.
Because literally I was closer to them than I was my own siblings because again, I pretty much raised myself.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I had great siblings. My brothers and sisters, great. They took care of us. We are tight. But because we were all going through our own stuff, we had to seek what we consider family and close family out within our, other people. May have been my sister, her husband, or boyfriend at back then, but she's still married. And it's like, well, I'm 50. They met when I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
So, and they're still together. So that he became her family.
Hmm.
I had my girlfriends. So Again, family, like you said, we always, there's at least a few loose screws
Oh
out
yeah,
there,
it's guaranteed.
guaranteed, but we don't have to subscribe to the same thing our family
No, you don't. You
has
know,
exactly.
because it's enough. It's enough. There's enough people out here that you can continuously help on a regular basis.
Yep.
Um, for to stay away from that energy. Now, because that's all it is. It's an energy, and
You said it.
because I mean, I got a brother that was, he was, oh my goodness, you name it, and I told my mom I love him to death, but I said I gotta go.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's nothing personal. It's just that the sight and the things that he has done are undescribable to me.
Hmm.
And I grew up, honestly, I was the cleanest one. Never smoked, never drank. Even though I was DJing, they didn't know I was drinking cranberry juice and
Right.
water. They didn't know that. They thought, oh, he getting loose.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't even know I ain't never finished the cool off. So,
Yeah.
you know, so you know, you gotta make sacrifices in order to get to remain sane and to be able to cope and deal with people. And I've been doing that all my life. My brother, he was, man, oh. I can tell you stories that
Sure.
you'd have been like, man, that could have been traumatizing to you.
Yeah.
But it was a sort of a trauma to me. But I went through that period, and then when I left and got away completely,
Hmm.
then I could say, okay, I still got love for you, but I can't be in your path.
Yeah.
You got
Absolutely.
your own little thing about you. So you live and you learn in this lifetime, and
Yeah.
we all gotta forgive. But when we know some people, they're not gonna forgive.
Yeah.
They're gonna have that on them forever.
Mm.
Um, okay,
But you know what? Just speak to the energy. It's so interesting. You said energy, and that really is so important and so true and significant because it's really about the energy. Negative energy will can eat you up alive. It can destroy everything that you worked hard for or you're working hard to achieve. And and there's going to be even in your industry, and I have to say I found that more so in your industry than my, you just got to be able to recognize and pick up on that energy, that bad and negative energy,
oh
and
yeah,
then you learn how to deal with it. You navigate through it. um but and I speak to negative energy, and that's been a theme. Honestly, it's interesting you said that this whole week with a lot of my clients, even the one prior to your show, um, about recognizing negative energy and how damaging it can be in your life and on so many levels. And how do you get away from it? How do you detach from it so that it's out of your way? All those blessings that you have coming to you, you're seeking, can
yeah,
can happen.
yeah,
And I see that what you said, with your brother,
yeah.
you can love him from a distance, you can love him from
All you
afar,
can do.
and
All
but
you
you
can do.
but you need to get that negative energy out of your path, out of your way,
That's
or
it.
far away
That's
from
it.
you.
That's what
Yeah.
makes that's what pushes you to do things that you regret that you might be capable of doing. So you don't want to ever put yourself in that position. And when the energy is wrong, if that ain't your energy, you got to go away from it.
Yeah.
You got to get away
Yes.
from that energy.
But some
So
people need to learn to recognize that. So you're absolutely right, and I'm glad you brought that up.
yeah.
Mhm.
So is there any other things? I know you got a real busy schedule,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I know and it's that time for you. So
Yes, yes. No, I really appreciate you having me on your show. I definitely am available to jump
yeah,
in. I know my schedule is crazy, but I will always make time for you because I
yeah,
see big things happening, and I want to witness it.
yeah.
I
Look,
want to be an audience and be a part of that.
yeah. But just imagine I spoke it into existence, and I wasn't even doing it.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
spoke it into existence, and I wasn't even doing it then.
That's key. Right.
And I told you, watch when I get it going, watch how fast something they're gonna start coming. And here it is. It's a deal. It's going to the Viacom, the whole 9 yards in October. It's gonna happen real fast.
Wow.
And
That's right around the corner.
they bringing the heat for me. So, look at that. And it didn't take, these people been doing this stuff for years and never got a deal. But they have no idea who I can connect to. But I ain't gonna say nothing till
No,
everything happen.
when the right time is the right time.
Yeah. So all you got to do is let me know when you want me to. I recorded it for you.
Okay.
So when do you want me to? Just text me and let me know when do you want it to come on. If you want it to come on a couple days from now, you want to do it Saturday, that way you could watch it, or I could just put it on YouTube and give you the link.
Yeah, put on YouTube. Give me a link. Don't this is your show. You're not.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
You're running the show. I'm
Yeah.
just really appreciative to that you had me on. I don't want this to be the last time.
No, it won't be the last time. And then you might be able to, swing something on the pod. It's just really a podcast. So,
Yes.
if you know anybody, if you want to go grab your guy Jay.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna do that. I just talked to him the other day. Yeah.
Matter of fact, once you show this to Jay, you're gonna be like, "That's weird." He's gonna say, "That's what he's gonna say." Yeah.
I am.
So
I'm gonna get.
he was always cool. He was always cool. He was always cool. I knew him and his sisters and all that. And they was around Music Soul Child and all. Like I said, I told you in 3 weeks. It was a couple weeks ago. I put it in the air, and now it's riding, and I can get some people to radio, so that's another thing. So, you have yourself a great and wonderful night, and you let me know. Oh, matter of fact, I'll send you the link.
Yeah,
and we'll take it from there. Okay, all right, have a great night.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. Good night.
All righty.
All righty.